Hello and welcome to the programme which looks at the Holy Land. I am Paul Calvert. Psalm 122, verse 3 and 4 from the New King James Bible says this: Jerusalem is built as a city that is compact together, where the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, to the testimony of Israel, to give thanks to the name of the Lord. I'm with Shai Doron from the Jerusalem Foundation. Now, Shai, what is the Jerusalem Foundation?
Jerusalem Foundation is the biggest city foundation in Israel. It was established by the legendary mayor Teddy Kollek in 1966. And we are the long arm of the city to help the city to accomplish its social, culture, civil society, creativity, future leadership, and so on, with support from our friends from all over the world, not necessarily Jews and non-Jews that are willing to support the city of Jerusalem with donations, with different kind of supports. And this is what it's all about. Since the establishment of the foundation more than 54 years ago, we invested almost more than $1.5 billion in different projects and programs in the city. Probably most of the things that you know in the city and the visitors that are coming to Jerusalem are not really aware that those are projects of the Jerusalem Foundation. It includes the big museums, community centers, the big parks, and even venues like the Teddy Sports Stadium or the Citadel or the theater. All of them were established and built by the Jerusalem Foundation through the years.
Why do people want to invest in Jerusalem?
Why you came to interview me? Because Jerusalem is unique. Jerusalem is the core, my belief. This is the center of the world. And I think that everyone want to influence and everyone want to help the city. It's not matter if they are Jews, Muslims, Christians, or others. To do something good to the city of Jerusalem, it's something that we share between all our friends and supporters. It could be Israelis, it could be from overseas. As I told you, it could be Jews or non-Jews. To be part of the city, I think it's not only something important to the city needs, it's important and meaningful to the ones that are willing to give to the city. Maybe because of religious belief, maybe because of their vision of doing something good in places that really it's the center. Yeah, I don't know if you remember or you're aware, there is a historical map of the city of Jerusalem from the 15th century. And it's over there, it's the description, or it was drawn like that Jerusalem is really the center between Asia, Africa, and Europe. And the middle is Jerusalem. So Jerusalem is the center of the world. So everyone wants to do something good for Jerusalem.
And how many people live in Jerusalem? What's the makeup of the city?
Now we are speaking almost about 1 million people. But the biggest asset of the city is not the numbers, it's the fact, and maybe others see it in a different way, but I think that the biggest asset of the city of Jerusalem is its diversity. Or may I say diversity. So many different communities, so many different cultures, so many different beliefs, Jews, Muslims, Christians. So I think that the biggest asset is not the numbers of the people that live in the city, it's the diversity and different culture, different communities, different even dresses of how people look like, make the city so unique, so inspired. I know people will say, no, too many ultra-Orthodox Jews, too many Palestinians, too many seculars. The mixture makes the city so unique. And that's why I never left the city since 1960, when I was born. I was born and raised in the city, fourth generation in the city. And it's inspiring city. It's lead you to such a creativity. And I know maybe it's not fitting to everyone, but I have the feeling that this is a life that really much more interesting, much more meaningful than, to my view, than Tel Aviv, for example. And I assume that when you're coming to Jerusalem, you have the same feeling of inspiration.
What sort of projects have you invested in?
Okay, I just told you it's about more than $1.5 billion that we invested through the years. But, the big projects are, of course, the big parks, the big museums, the Jerusalem Theater, other cultural venues. But, for me, for my personal background, for me, it was very important that even the zoo in Jerusalem was established by the Jerusalem Foundation. I served for many years as the CEO of the Jerusalem Zoo, and then we built the aquarium. So for me, for sure, it's a very important project. But I would like to believe that it's not only a capital project. I would like to believe that some of the programs are the most important programs that for civil society, for culture. Let's speak about shared living programs and coexistence and learning together between Jews and our Christians. Let's speak about the special program that we have with elderly people in the Christian quarter. And it's not about physical capital projects, it's about human beings, it's about people. And that's what makes Jerusalem Foundation so unique.
It's helping everybody.
Yeah, it's for everyone. And one of the biggest assets and the biggest values that we would like to address in our work, both capital and programming, it's about shared living. Not necessarily coexisting, but to find a way that Jerusalem could be a model to a society, to a city that can really accommodate, live together, Jews and Arab, Christians and other religions, old, young, tourists, local, together in one city. And Jerusalem Foundation must, it's not only our willingness, it's the must of what we are doing to be and serve the entire people that live in the city of Jerusalem and the ones that are visiting Jerusalem.
Of course, you get many visitors as well, don't you? Many tourists.
Unfortunately, in the last year, because of COVID, of course, we face a big crisis in tourism. But, tourism, and we attract so many people from all over the world. Again, not necessarily Jews, Christians and Muslims, mainly Muslim, Christian and Jews are coming to Israel. And tourism, it's important to the economy, and it's important to the development of the city. But, the last year of COVID, we found energy, we found communities that found a way how to live in a way that they are sharing their experience, they are sharing their abilities with each other to guarantee that everyone will be at least above the line of existence. And, it was a chance, it was an opportunity for us to find out that the city has a lot of power of itself. It's great to have tourists here, and I would like to see the day soon that the tourists will come again. But during the last year, we saw a different angle that little bit were hid by the fact that we have so many visitors coming to Jerusalem. And the fact that it was Jerusalemites only gave us new perspective of the energy, of the power, of the good things that the different communities has in the city.
What needs does Jerusalem have today?
Wow, it's a hard question. But, we are looking for long-term. Jerusalem Foundation came 2 years ago with a master plan, if I say master plan, or mainly vision for the year 2030. And 2030, we choose 2030 with an idea that it's not too long, but it's long enough that we can accomplish some long-term process of capital project and programming that will address 3 main pillars. Basic thing. 1, creative culture, to encourage the creative community here in Jerusalem to do different things, inspiring things in culture, in art, and mainly with young adults, Jerusalemites, from different backgrounds, to create here and to live here in Jerusalem. So this is creative culture. The second thing that we would like to accomplish is about communal strengths, that each community will find its resources to be stronger, to be better, and to find a way how they can live together in one city. Not necessarily not necessarily going together all the time, but community by community, side by side, peacefully, in harmony, to create a city with the strengths of the community. And the third part of the vision is about future leadership. We would like to see in 10 years to come young generation of young adults that are leading the city with commitment to live and to work and to have the center of their life in Jerusalem. And for that, we need to identify the next generation of leaders, local leaders. I'm not speaking about the level of political leaders. I'm speaking about the civil society leaders. But this is something that Jerusalem is still missing. We have some great leaders here, but not enough. And we would need to find and help the movement of creating the next generation of civil society leaders in the city of Jerusalem from different backgrounds. Having said so, in all three directions of our master plan, we need to try to find a way to narrow the gaps between different communities, to give opportunities to everyone, and to address the issues that it's more important than everything else, especially in days like today, shared living, the diversity as a big asset, as I told you.
Now, you were started by Teddy Kollek. Just explain who Teddy Kollek was.
Teddy Kollek, the legendary the mayor of Jerusalem that served as the mayor in Jerusalem between 1965 until 1993. But Teddy Kollek was visionary. He was a leader. And he really believed there is nothing more important than Jerusalem. I had the fortune to work with Teddy as his chief of staff during his last term as the mayor. It was between the years of 1988 to 1993. And he was a real leader. And he was a member of political movement, the Labour Party in Israel. And few times the senior leaders of the Labour Party used to come to Teddy and tell him, join the senior leaders of the party and be the prime minister or be a very important minister in the government. Teddy told them, no way. If there's something that I think it's the most important position in the world, is to be the mayor of Jerusalem. And Teddy, with his leadership, succeeded really to raise the awareness of the entire world for the need to develop Jerusalem. And develop Jerusalem was for everyone that live in Jerusalem, Christian, Muslim, and Jews. And I think that thanks to Teddy, and of course the turning point was the Six-Day War in 1967, that he was really the modern builder of the cities that you know today. We owe Teddy a lot because what he succeeded to accomplish during his 28 years of mayorship, I think, made the real foundation for the modern city of Jerusalem. I'm not speaking about the history, I'm not speaking about the city of the kingdom of David or Solomon, I'm speaking about the modern city. I think that you can see Teddy as the founder of Jerusalem as a modern city. I myself, from my personal perspective, he was my mentor, he was my teacher. It wasn't pleasant to work with him. He was not a nice person to work with him. He was very demanding. But I think for me it was an experience that, no school can offer you such an experience. It was the best school for me. But I can tell now that I had a small part in building Jerusalem to what it is now. 1 million people city that can inspire everyone and attract so many tourists from overseas with some of the most beautiful initiatives and ideas that came from Jerusalem. It's hard to believe that so many good things, not only in culture, not only in art, came out from Jerusalem. Mentioned Mobileye. Mobileye became worldwide high-tech idea. The idea started here in Jerusalem. And it's still the base of Mobileye in Jerusalem. Intel actually started in Jerusalem. So many things. Jerusalem is the center. And really, I'm telling you that modern Jerusalem owed to Teddy Kollek. And I'm proud that I came now in the 2.5 years ago in his big shoes. He was the establisher of the Jerusalem Foundation, and he was actually the head of Jerusalem Foundation for many years. For me to come back after so many years, to close the circle and to sit on the chair of being the president of Jews Foundation, for me it's closing a circle on a personal level. But I wish that I will do 1% of what Teddy did for the city, and this would be great success for the Jews Foundation. The city of Jerusalem, the people of Jerusalem, and I think the people of the world that really care about Jerusalem owe to Teddy Kollek.
Is Jerusalem a city for the world?
No one asking us for that. For sure, yes, but everyone look to Jerusalem, and the Christians, the Muslims, and of course the Jews. So this is the real center. You know, if something bad will happen in Jerusalem, it will be all over the world. If something good will come out from Jerusalem, it will impact the entire world. So, yeah, Jerusalem, so sensitive, and we have such huge responsibility on our shoulders. I'm not exaggerating what the Jerusalem Foundation is doing, but the mayor of Jerusalem and the Jerusalem Foundation and other agencies that are working in the city have unlimited responsibility for the entire world, because everyone look to Jerusalem. Everyone look to Jerusalem. Try to imagine, again, let's speak positively. Peace between Jerusalemites, between the different communities, will impact the entire world. The conflict between Muslim, Christians, and Jews, if we will find a solution in Jerusalem, it will make the impact all over the world. So with prayer from Jews, Muslims, and Christians for the city, it's the real thing, because everything is centered in the city of Jerusalem.
What's your website for people who'd like to know more? Your Facebook page?
www.jerusalemfoundation.org.
Okay, Shai, thank you very much.
You are more than welcome, and I would like to believe that one day soon you will move to live in Jerusalem. With all the respect to Bethlehem, I like Bethlehem, I like to visit Bethlehem, but I will tell you a different story about that. Tel Aviv is a great city. Yeah. But you know why it's such a great city? Because you go to Tel Aviv for vacation. Yeah. And that's what makes it so unique. I would never want to live in Tel Aviv with all its culture, with all its freedom, and with the fact that there is beaches in Tel Aviv, but here there is nothing like Jerusalem. So it's great to live in Jerusalem and visit Bethlehem, but come to live with us in Jerusalem.
Thank you for joining us today. Pray that God will move by his mighty power in the Holy Land and bring his peace.